Aloha and welcome to Paradise Hawaiian Style. We are above the city on the Tantalus Drive. Stopped off here at a very special spot that I don't know if a lot of you will recognize or not, but it's the spot of a very famous album cover. Yes, this is the spot where Elvis Presley took the pictures for the Blue Hawaii album cover. Technically. See, in actuality, they took a picture of this spot without Elvis and then reprinted it on a big screen backdrop, hung that up in the studio, and then Elvis posed in front of that for the very famous cover of the Blue Hawaii album. But this is the picture of the backdrop that they took pictures of, printed, and then Elvis stood in front of and took photos of for the Blue Hawaii album cover. Anyways, you can even tell because of the little lava wall there. See? And in some pictures you can see Elvis with that lava wall, but in the pictures the wall is much higher. Anyways, this is where he took that famous shot from. At least that's my understanding. We'll do a little quick rotation here so you can sort of see everything here in the background. Yeah, it's actually really nice up here. It's a couple degrees cooler. It's very nice. Tantalus Lookout, Manoa Valley down there, University of Hawaii, Punahou School, and all that, and then of course Diamond Head and the beautiful blue ocean behind us. All right, so stick around. We're going to drive up and check out the famous lookout from Blue Hawaii, where Elvis and Maile had a picnic, and Elvis made that oh so important decision not to run or not to be a part of his father's pineapple business anymore, but instead to become a tour guide and show the Malahini, or the tourists of Hawaii, all the beautiful spots of Hawaii. And that's where he decided at that lookout. So let's go and check it out. Quick little detour to our trip up to the Tantalus Lookout. We just pulled into the main park, and up that way is the Tantalus Lookout. But there are some beautiful mature trees up here that need a little bit of appreciation. And I thought I would point out this area here is called the, it was a private residence. I think it was a caretaker's house, but now they do luau's here, which is really kind of cool. You can see the little tent set up and stuff, and they do them in the afternoons and the evening, and it's a nice luau, and you get to see the sunset and Waikiki. And lots of chickens out here. And there's a little kitty cat. Is he going to get that chicken? And another little interesting placard sort of describing the area and the house that was there and still there. That's where they have the luau's. And I guess there were sweet potatoes and macadamia nuts. I did some farming up here in the hills. Anyways, that picture there in the house is this one right here. And that's where they have the luau's. I've never been to one, but I've heard about it. It's fairly new in the last couple years. And you can see here, these guys just came from a nice little walk that's around here. It's a pretty simple walk. It's pretty flat, and haven't been on it in years, but actually that might be a fun one to do in the near future. So we will have to check that out. All right, let's head up to the Elvis Maile Lookout on Tantalus. All right, welcome back. We are at the Tantalus Lookout now. We're parked at the lower parking lot. We're going to walk through, take a nice little scenic walk to get to the main lookout. But I thought you might appreciate this view. It's actually a little bit nicer than the one where Elvis took the famous album cover for a Blue Hawaii photo. We'll do a little panning shot here so you can see everything. This is actually the picnic area. I think it's a secondary park, that area that they built just to sort of help with the overflow from the main lookout spot, and people can have picnics here. There's a secondary parking lot. See, hardly anybody parked there, and there's a couple of comfort stations and seating areas, and it's actually real nice and pretty. So park here. I encourage you to park here and then walk not too far to the main lookout. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, we are taking the nice leisurely walk to the big visitor center. That's a beautiful little comfort station. You can see the moss growing on the side of this building. Just shows you how wet it can get up here. And that is a cell phone tower or some sort of communications tower, because we are on top of the mountains, and typically it's usually a couple degrees cooler here than it is at sea level. And you can see the sea through the trees there. But this is just like a nice little walking path to the main lookout. And so I thought, let's walk through this, and then we'll head over and check out the famous lookout for Blue Hawaii. been a little while since I've been on this path, and actually looks a little wider than I remember, although it looks like it's going to taper off to the side here in a little bit. It's a beautiful day today. Here we are on the little walking path headed towards the lookout. I remember this path being much tighter and much more overgrown. I think they must have widened it a little bit to encourage people to take the little walk in between the two parking areas. The actual parking area for the lookout's quite small. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision, because you can smell the eucalyptus in the air and the flowers. Can't really see much of the ocean right here, but we're coming up on the money shot. There's Diamond Head poking through the trees there. Some yellow blossoms on those flowers there. Actually, it looks like a vine that's probably overtaken the tree. Pretty yellow flowers though. Oh, today's a good day for it. We could have parked at the smaller, closer lot, because there's hardly anybody here. One of the most interesting things about this lookout is to see how much the skyline of Hawaii has changed. I don't know if you can make out in the distance there in the ocean. Is that a boat or is that like a submarine? I don't know. You can see the Kahala area, Waialae, Kapahulu, and then where all the buildings are is the start of Waikiki. Informational placard here is really kind of cool, kind of tells you about the area and all that, life on the mountain. Actually, as we were pulling in, there was that wooded area. There's a house down there, and the last time I heard, it was a private residence, but they were, it's like a caretaker's cottage for some of the area, and they were doing luau's there with a sunset view. It's supposed to be really kind of cool. So, interestingly enough, you can sort of get a luau and check things out and just watch the sunset. We're not going to go onto that path there, so we can walk a little bit further down the hill. I will try to cut to a shot of Elvis and Maile here in a little bit, but when they filmed up here, this walkway and this little covered area, none of this was here, but you could still walk out, and that's where they had their picnic. And this is the spot where they had the famous picnic from Blue Hawaii, where Elvis decided to become a tour guide and not work at the pineapple factory that his father ran. And actually you can see all the way over to Honolulu Airport and the runways over there in Pearl Harbor, to the skyline of Waikiki, and how it's changed. All right, so I just put in a picture there of Elvis and Maile having their little picnic, and again, right at this spot here, but with a much different skyline of Waikiki. We'll walk back this way on the other side. All right, this is the Manoa Valley, the clouds just over the peaks there. And as we walk up past the lookout on the other side. As we walk back to the car, before some behind us and ahead of us here, the way we came was along the wooded path, but now we're going to go along the little driveway, which is actually kind of nice too, because you can get a better view of the skyline and stuff better this way. This lookout is a spot on most tours of the area. Always a go-to. It's not far from the center of Waikiki and offers great views and stuff, so it's always a spot to see. It's taking us back to that secondary parking lot, although it seems farther. It's really not. See that mongoose? And if you saw that little rodent like running across the road, but that's a mongoose. They're not indigenous to Hawaii. They are brought over to, I think, help kill the rats and stuff that came over. But since they didn't have any natural predators, they sort of went out of control and started eating a lot of the eggs from the natural birds, the native birds. And so they're responsible for some of the loss of the native bird species in Hawaii. The mongoose came. I'm not sure, they're not that bad. I'll tell you, I see more chickens than I do mongoose. Mongoose. So they can't be in that bad a shape. And here we are at that picnic area. There's a little walkway here. We'll cut through here, head back to the car. All right, guys, I hope you had a nice time. Shorter video today. Just wanted to take you on a little a detour trip to a special place for Elvis and for a lot of people in Hawaii, because it's a beautiful lookout and definitely on a must-do list for when you come and visit us in Hawaii. So thanks for spending the time. Please like, follow, comment, help me build this YouTube channel so we can have lots of adventures. All right, thank you and aloha.